Hey, Pepin.
Yo, 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 yo.
You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about my cat.
Ooh, I like cats.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So, you know Tim, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes he goes outside and he's always so skittish. One time he saw a dog, ran away.
Yeah, you.
You?
Yeah, you.
You to dogs in general?
Well, not all dogs, but most dogs. Yes, most dogs. Ugh.
Nathan, we need to talk. Welcome back. So glad you guys could join us. I am here once again with my best friend in the world, Nathan Pepin. How are you doing today, Nate?
Yo, I'm doing well. It's an exciting Saturday for people who are watching us on the live stream. All you, Chris Ball, I love you.
Well, that's totally fair. We all love Chris Ball. So we have with us today super special guests. We have Maggie and Andrea from We Are the Worst. How are you guys doing?
Whoa.
Just laying it down right now. No, we're doing good.
Honesty.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. I mean, it's early.
It's
is.
very early for us.
I mean, it's not really early. It's like, what, 11, right?
Yeah, I
it's
don't know
early.
what it is. It's something.
But it is early.
Yeah.
We got up at 6 this
Oh.
morning.
No, I got up at 5:30.
I'm surprised. I'm proud
And you
of
guys
you.
already did a whole show.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we came here, and usually we do our shows late at night. So this is all kinds of weird.
Yeah.
Fair
Usually the drink we have while recording is wine
And
instead
that's
of
the end of the night.
coffee. Yes. Yeah. So this is it's different. It's fun. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Thank you for having us on.
Absolutely. And I love you guys' show. Can you tell people what your show is about?
We're the Worst is a podcast that tells the worst stories humanity has to offer. We do true crime, the occult, weird history, celebrity gossip.
Have you guys ever done a cult episode?
Yes, we
Ah.
do Cult Week
It's our favorite
once a month.
week.
And last week was Cult Week Light because
You're on a cult diet.
we're on a cult diet, and we actually realized once we had finished our research, we had picked our topics, it was too late to pick another topic, and we both realized that we were too far gone, but neither of our topics were actually cults. So
You did it perfect.
yeah.
You did it right. You made it happen. It was actually awesome content. I super love that episode. And I think what's really huge is you guys have outstanding quality. Your quality has improved hand over hand since I started listening. And the relationship between you guys is so clear and it comes through. It feels like you're friends with you guys because you guys are so clear with each other. It's beautiful.
That's so nice.
We are best friends. We've been best friends for a really long time. So
Yeah. Even though we're incompatible astrologically.
yeah, that's right.
We just found
that
out.
Oh boy. So what are your astrology signs? I do have to know this one. This is important.
So I'm a Libra.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm balanced, And you're a Capricorn?
I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah.
Capricorn.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Apparently
I
we
never
don't
meet
get along.
Capricorns.
I don't know what that
You guys
means.
love money.
We love we're hard workers. We're ambitious. We hate people.
That's fair. But doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I find that I don't meet them because we're not very social.
I see. That's why you have podcasts.
Exactly.
So you can be social without any socializing.
I want the attention, but I don't want to be in it.
That's a big energy. I want the attention.
This
She
is
wants to
why
be famous too.
Yeah,
Like,
this
you
is-
should hear the things she says.
this is why we're podcasting is I want the fame.
Interesting.
And I don't.
Is that true of you?
I don't really want fame. Like, I want people to listen to the podcast, but
Sure.
I don't want any of them to DM me and ask me questions.
So you want the fame, the money side of fame.
Like, I want people to say write into the podcast and say ask us to like, hey, talk about this on the podcast,
Sure.
or answer my questions, or answer this about life. But I don't want to have a relationship with these people. I don't want to. I don't want my fans to follow me on Instagram or anything like that.
Oh, I want the followers on Instagram, and I want the I want to have like a relationship, but I don't want to have the work of a full friendship.
Okay.
And I also want to go on tour.
She loves this so much. Drea loves this.
Because it's the complete opposite of what I want. I just want to be home, do my podcast, and move on.
Yeah.
Like, I want Bruce Willis fame where no one really likes him. He just kind of shows up randomly, but everyone thinks he's badass.
He was in that one movie that one time.
Yeah, that one time.
Yeah.
Not so many movies. And she wants, like, I don't know, Angelina Jolie fame. Or
see.
Kim Kardashian fame.
I just don't want to like go to the parties and socialize. I'll be on the stage. Everybody's like loving you, adoration, throwing it all at me. And then I can go home.
See, I don't want any attention. Like, okay, it's like when people find out things that I accomplished. Let's say I did a really good job on my test. I don't want people coming up to me and saying, "Hey, great job! You did a great job on that test." I'm just like, just don't talk to me, please.
Oh.
Like it's too much.
I need validation. I need people to say like you're doing great. You're a fan. I'm a millennial.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
You're a millennial.
Yeah, I am. Thank
what's
you.
that
I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot.
Was that like doing great for a millennial or doing great as a millennial?
No, just doing great as a human being.
Oh, okay.
Like, but you know, the typical millennial, all of these articles are saying like, you millennials are killing off the restaurant industry and millennials need constant validation. I'm like, fuck yeah. Tell me I'm doing a good job. Don't like, let me just run wild.
Okay.
Well, isn't that subject? We are not talking about dogs right now.
No.
That's okay.
But isn't that subjective as to whether you're doing a good job or not?
I guess so.
So why do other people's opinion of what you're doing being good, why is that worth more than your own opinion?
It's not, but I want people to tell me I'm doing good, and I want them to tell me if I'm not doing good. Like I want constructive criticism. So like at one point you told us our mics were facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
And that was
It's super
so
common.
helpful.
Yeah.
So goddamn helpful. And like I appreciate that. Or if somebody writes in and is like, Maggie, you were dumb in this particular episode and you said the wrong thing. I want that.
She'll cry
engagement
first.
in general.
Yeah.
Especially if it makes you better.
Yeah, exactly. But I also want people to be like, you're the greatest podcaster I've ever heard. Can we be best friends? And I'm like, only on the internet, because I'm not gonna put in the effort to see you and make.
Would your ego let you
Socialize?
believe that?
What that?
Or does that not matter?
No,
The
that doesn't
validation.
matter. The validation is what I want. Unlike I'm great. I know I'm great, but I want other people to tell me.
See, I'm trying to relate to this a bit because I feel like I can to some degree. So, like, I would like it if I was, like, say, a world-renowned mathematician or something like this. I could figure out some, like, I don't know, universal theory of physics, right?
Sure.
And people just, like, say, oh, Nathan Pepin figured out physics and solved everything.
Figured out physics is the highest equation you can imagine.
Or let's say I cured cancer or something like that. But, you know, I want the acclaim, but I don't want people really interacting with me for that acclaim.
So you want like
Okay.
I feel like academically that's achievable, but like podcast wise, we're a very interactive format. Like you have podcast stuff on social media, people interact on social media. They listen in their cars and they yell at you while you're talking. I mean,
Yeah.
I do.
I do too.
Usually to myself.
So it's a very interactive thing, and you're putting yourself out there. You're putting your whole person, your whole personality out there for the whole world to hear. So I think it's a bit different than academia.
Or
But
just curing loneliness.
like you can be famous academically and also be a recluse, but I don't think you can be
Yeah,
a famous
curing.
podcaster and be a hermit. I don't think you can.
Is that the difference? That you want academic and you want like popularity?
Yes, but I like the podcast aspect of it because I feel like it takes less of my social energy because I'm very introverted. I don't know that I come across that way, but I for sure am.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think that's kind of what I'm like as well, because it's not that maybe interacting with people is bad, but it's just very fatiguing.
Yes.
And like, so back in the day, I used to have some health issues, and like my parents or my grandmother would tell people about it, and then I have all these random people coming up to me asking about my health issues, and I just have to deal with it. And
Yeah.
it's like, I'd rather them not know and not talk to me about this, because number one, I don't think they should know, but number two, it's just really fatiguing to like talk to people about this stuff, because it's just like, I have to deal with you now.
That's the most antisocial thing I've ever heard.
I get it though. Like
I do too. But
I do for work. I'm a recruiter, and so all day, every day, I talk to people, and it's so draining.
In person?
On the phone, in person. Yesterday, I had to drive out to Boston to meet with a couple of candidates in person and like talk to them and like be on, and that's very, very difficult. And so like, what appeals to me about podcasting fame is you don't necessarily have to be on, because you can record something and put it out there and have that content, and you're on for like an hour, and then you can go hide in your cave of a room.
Yeah. No, I love that too, especially after like Nate and I end up streaming and recording for sometimes like, what was it, 5 hours last week?
Yeah, 5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just all like content. So we were up by 4 weeks, and then today we're going to record for however long, and that'll be just on top of that. So we're trying to have a big back catalog so that, you know, we can take time to not have to do it, especially since he lives an hour and a half away. So I have to make that drive, which sucks.
Okay, remember my thought from earlier. So when you're
Everybody rewind.
yeah. Let's just go
Make
back
that.
to the point. Okay.
Okay.
So when you're listening to your podcast back, especially in the editing process, do you listen to yourself and say, "Oh yeah, this person's completely right. I agree with this person," or do you think, "Huh, that's what I think about that"?
It's usually I agree with this person, but that's primarily because I've put so much work into writing and researching. But there are some times where I'm like, oh, I wish I had said this.
Yeah.
Or I have to cut something out because I sound like a dummy.
Right.
You never sound like a dummy.
Me and Meter had this conversation. So when I listen to myself on the podcast, my point of view is like, oh, what am I going to say about this? Like, I really don't know. And then I listen to it. Oh, I guess that makes sense. And then Meter listens to it, and he's like, oh, yeah, this person's exactly right. Like, I am on point here.
It's wild. Like, I'll forget. I'll listen to something from like 2 years ago, and I'll be like, why aren't I making this point? And then I make it the second I get mad that I didn't make it. I'm like,
Well, there it is.
now I'm embarrassed. Great.
Andre, what's your kind of, say...
So I listen to the podcast when it gets released every Tuesday, and I actually don't even think it's us. I'll listen. I know that sounds weird, but I don't. I'm like,
You're like, these guys are good.
these are really good.
I'd subscribe to this.
I want to be friends with these people.
Seriously. And that's what I do. And I'll listen to it on the airplane or wherever I'm going for that week. And I'm like, wow, yeah, this is good shit. I'm here for this.
Oh my gosh.
That's an experience I have too a lot, like especially when we get someone like really good guest on. Like we had Fish Stick from I Don't Know Radio, and the three of us just vibed like super well. And it's like the conversations we're having were not possible with just myself. It's like a combination of the three, and it became like it's not like me. It's like a combination of me, Steve, and Fish Stick in this instance, and I know kind of lose myself in the conversation.
Just like Eminem, right?
Yeah, just like Eminem and dogs.
I
right,
saw
that's
that.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a bad transition, was it?
No, just like, let's veer off. Let's do it.
Shout out Brian for sharing the stream. Christopher Ball was talking about both signs are common among serial killers, meaning both Capricorn and is it Libra or Leo?
It's a Libra.
Libra.
I don't know. We just posted about
Yeah, I
serial
shared
killer.
that.
Yeah.
There were no Capricorns on that list, but we did find out that Harold Shipman is
that?
a Capricorn. He's a not great serial killer.
What does that
Oh,
mean?
nice.
Not great, like he only killed like one person?
No, like he killed a lot of people.
So he was really good at it,
He
but
was very good at it.
Not okay,
yeah.
I get it.
And so I looked it up because why not? He is the 251st most popular Capricorn, and that pisses me off.
Oh, I saw that post too. So the job is to make you more famous than him
Yes,
because you're
please.
better.
Yes,
And I
don't.
mean that's noble.
I've never killed anyone.
So you at least can be like, what, 150?
Yeah,
wanna be 150 in that
No, I
list?
want to be the 50th.
The 50th.
50th most
Nice.
popular Capricorn. I don't think that's too much to ask because
Wait, what?
No.
What's his?
he's Capricorn.
Yeah, no,
He's-
what's his rank?
251?
251.
So you want to be 200 above him, but the important thing is that it knocks him out.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
I understand. I
And
understand.
Also, I want to reiterate, I have never killed anyone. Like,
Okay, now I'm thinking you may have killed
no,
somebody.
I feel like I'm setting the bar really fucking low.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Either that or it's super suspicious. It's definitely one of the two.
True.
I didn't see any Scorpios on there either.
No, there were
No.
some. I think there were.
No, I didn't see
Oh
any
no,
Scorpios
some
either.
people were like, "Where the fuck are the Scorpios?" Because
Yeah.
like literally, that's who I would think of as a murderer, is
Right.
a goddamn
heck yeah.
Scorpio. I don't know if I'm even friends with any Scorpios.
I don't think I'm friends with Scorpios either.
This is awkward.
You guys, who's
Oh,
Scorpio?
no.
Is
I
it
am.
you? Okay, that's why we're leaving our DNA everywhere.
That's definitely fair.
Oh,
It's fine.
I also texted this address to my husband,
That's
so he
smart.
knows where we are.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
Oh, my husband was gonna come with us. He's like, "Are you sure you don't need someone?" Like, we're okay. We know them. We're gonna be okay.
Fair enough.
I mean, we're live streaming this, so
Yeah.
you know he can
This
check
would
out
be
the
real
stream.
awkward.
That would get real awkward.
Hit
If
the
we
like.
murdered you right now.
You know,
You guys would get caught really quickly.
Or maybe we have a contingency plan. Maybe this is only fake live streaming. We'll real live stream it next week.
Oh, so
Or a
this
day
is
la-
like
an
this
hour
is
later or something.
this has been pre-recorded, and you're just posting it as if we're live.
And this is
Got
why
it.
you think Scorpios are the creepy ones. Colby watching. Colby, such a huge. I love that guy, Colby Saunders. He says, "Fuck what other people think you do. You do. You do you."
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
That's
that.
straight up. And of course, Peter Rizzo watching. Junior.
yo, Peter.
What's up?
So this is absolutely insane, Nathan. This statement you're making that you don't like dogs.
Yeah, I can't handle it. Was my sound on?
So
No, that was mine.
Oh, okay.
the thing is, dogs are like the most needy animal out there. Okay, so there's certain dogs. I had a dog that I liked. His name was Cody. He was amazing.
Okay.
But he was very chill and didn't really like jump on you. He's more a protector dog, and
Okay.
he's kind of hung out. More like a cat. But most dogs, like, they just can't chill the fuck out. Like, they just go crazy. You walk in the door, they're all on you.
It's love.
It's love.
It's love.
It's terrible.
I think that's speciesist of you.
So imagine, like,
Yeah.
imagine you had a roommate, right? And every time you come in that door, that roommate is just like all up on you, and it's kind of like,
Find it weird that you think a dog is like a human.
I-
To associate it as a human, like it's an animal.
well, it's a dog is a dog, but something you're
Yeah.
cohabitating with. And if we held the dog to the standards that you'd hold
Well,
humans
maybe
to,
that's the
Humans?
problem.
well, that's not the
Why are
problem.
you
though.
holding the dog to the same standard? It's
Well, because you're having this dog live in your house. Now, I'm not saying that the issue is with the dog. The issue is you have a dog in your house. It's like, let's say you had like a horse in your house, and the horse starts shitting everywhere.
That's my
and-
dream.
Wait, which part? You came in a little late on that one.
The horse in the house, not the shit.
Okay.
All right, so obviously the horse isn't the problem. The horse in the house trying to be your companion, pet is the issue. So
That's not a problem for me. I need a house full of animals. But my roommate, who I'm also married to,
okay.
has put his foot down. I don't get to have a bird. I don't get to have a cat snake. I don't get to have a horse. Cat snakes are also known as ferrets.
I see. Okay, that's a good name.
They do stink.
I know, but
They
I
stink
want
so
one.
bad.
Yup.
I want a full house of animals, more than we already have, which is 2 cats and a dog. And it's very difficult for me to not be surrounded by animals at all times.
2 cats and a dog isn't a ton.
I know, I want more.
I can hear the desperation in your voice.
I
It
want
sells it.
I want one of those birds, the white ones with the things.
Cockatiel?
Yes. That say swear words. I want to teach it to say swear words. And do you ever see those videos of the one that like knocks over the cups and says fuck?
Okay.
I want that.
Okay.
I want a sassy bird.
So this all comes back to you making videos to be famous.
Yep. Because if I get a big enough house,
Or a big enough bird.
I could sneak these animals in and my husband would never know.
Oh.
I
Or a
thought we were
small
gonna
enough
live in a
bird.
llama farm.
What if you get a little tiny bird?
Oh, then my cats would eat it. I need a bird that can hold its own against a couple of cats.
See, I think my issue is you have very specific aims, and you're willing to pay the price for those aims, like for the pet, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
for me, it's like the whole package. It's the same thing with a baby. Like maybe a baby has some utility in like it's
I hate kids, and I wouldn't even say that. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, Nathan coming in with all the hot takes.
Yeah.
So many hot takes.
Going utilitarian on a baby.
Okay.
No. So what I mean is the baby. Like, why do people have babies? Because it brings them joy. The joy is the utility of
Is
the
that
baby.
what it is? I thought it was a mistake.
Babies are accidents.
I was an accident. My parents remind me of that all the time.
Yeah, but you were like 10 years after your siblings.
Yeah, that's true.
But you have a baby, right? There's good parts of having a baby, but you have to also throw in the bad parts. There's crying, changing diapers, the long nights of just like no sleep, just constant worrying about this thing being perhaps dead for like some stupid reason, choking on its own vomit, accidentally like falling off something. There's so much bad stuff.
Let's take this utilitarian then. So let's say that that's all the bad stuff. The good stuff outweighs it easy. So who cares?
This sounds like you're describing me with my dog. Like I'm just constantly worried about her well-being, and
But is the love worth that worry?
oh, for sure,
Like easily.
Easily.
And that's where you can go utilitarian, but you need to, like it, Capricorn, you need to break it down into your money.
So, okay. This argument goes further, though, because...
Okay.
So you can get libertarian on this and say that if, let's say, Maggie, you want to have a dog, that's fine if you want to have a dog, because that dog affects you, right?
Right.
If you find that price is worth the pay, it's great. But then let's say that my neighbor wants to have a dog. That dog is like it's kind of a noise pollutant in a way. Maybe there's hair follicles and stuff like this and skin. I get allergies with pets.
Okay.
So that's besides the point. But there is a cost that is paid by other people who didn't choose to make that choice to have that pet. So let's say the dog's yelping and just barking all the time. Let's say it's having all these issues. Like if the choice was, say, just to limit it to yourself, it's one thing. But if it's, out into the, goes down into the ether and affects other people, that's where the choices get kind of murky.
But if you go into that line of thinking, don't those people choose to live in that area? Like, we bought our house knowing full well that it was a neighborhood full of noisy children and dogs. So we went in knowing full well what we were getting into. We looked at all the surrounding houses. We didn't look at the yard because it was covered in snow, which was a mistake. But that's neither here nor there. But like we knew, so we're choosing full well to live in this neighborhood where you can hear kids yelling or the dogs or whatever.
Okay. Andrea, I want to hear what you think.
Well, I have to agree with her because I live in a condo, and the next door neighbor is an old guy to the left, and to the right is a young child and a dog that yaps all day long. But I end up feeling sad for the dog, and I want to take the dog. So, I mean, I knew the situation I was getting into, but it's not annoying. I'm not annoyed by the dog. I feel bad for the dog.
You can't have a dog.
And I cannot have a dog because I'm never home.
So I feel somewhere in that position, Andrea, where when people don't take care of the animals, that's one of my big issues. So I had a neighbor back in the day, and this neighbor would leave their dog out for hours and hours, just have it bark and bark and bark, never let it in, never took care of it.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
So, I think some dogs are just assholes, right? They just bark for no reason and just won't shut up. But then this dog had a reason for barking, and the reason for barking was his owner just ignored it and just kind of shouldn't have owned it.
Yeah.
So in that case, I could see it as being, say, a negative. I think we would agree on that, because despite whether you chose to live in an environment with dogs, you're choosing to live in an environment with dogs that are actually taken care of. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Okay. And so I do think you bring up a great counterpoint to me, Maggie. And I don't know if I have a good way of responding against it, because except for saying that maybe if there's not a good countermeasure for acting against those, say, bad actors, so people who just let their dogs yap and yap and yap. Similarly, it's kind of like what people who launch fireworks in New Hampshire. There's some people who will do it 2 a.m. and just right next to your house.
We had fireworks going off the other day. It's January, and we had fireworks going off in our neighborhood. It was
Live for your
very
die.
weird. Yeah, live for your die.
Isn't that kind of a privileged position to take, though? That you can choose where you live?
It is very privileged.
Because a lot of people, even, homeless people, obviously that's the worst. But even people who are at the poverty line or, living day to day.
Their choices are very, very limited, for sure. So, yes, thank you for calling me out on that.
Publicly, right? Yeah, sorry, that's my bad.
No, I'm not mad at it. Like, that's a good point to make because I'm very privileged and I don't necessarily see things all the time from a non-privileged point of view.
We're talking about dogs right now, folks, for those just tuning in. Oh, I love our show, Nathan. This is so good. You guys are amazing guests. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, we're loving this.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
loving this. I don't want to speak for you, Drea.
No, I'm hating it. Okay. Every second of it. Gonna burst out crying.
So I think the reason why I don't like, or I like cats a lot better, is cats are very, also fish too. Like both of those
Fish are
animals.
just so easy. Like you don't have to do anything.
Fish are nothing.
But-
It's
I feel bad for them.
You feel bad for fish?
Yeah, they're like living in a little tiny thing, and they don't even
They don't
even
know.
I know, that's the sad part.
Oh, okay. All right, understandable.
But they're very containable. Like, I guess cats can meow sometimes if they're in heat, they go crazy, and maybe they do certain things. But in general, like if someone has a cat, you don't know that cat exists unless you see it in the window. Or
Right.
they let it
Fair.
out.
That is fair.
right. And if you are a cat owner, I do highly suggest you get them spayed or neutered.
Please.
Okay, Bob Barker.
So
It's Drew Carey now. Get with the times, old grandpa.
I'm speaking from experience. I used to live in Ukraine, and I have a cat that I brought from Ukraine. She's got a little passport. She's a little bit feral.
That's
it's fine.
wonderful. Okay,
yeah.
And when I was there, I had read that when you get a cat spayed in Ukraine, it wasn't a very common thing. And so at the time when I was reading it, it was telling me that like vets wouldn't use anesthetic. They would do it while the cat was fully awake. And I was like, I'm not doing that to my cat. We're just gonna go through these heat cycles and I'm gonna like just live through it. It was miserable. She was miserable. I was miserable. I wouldn't let her outside because I didn't need any kittens. And then she got very, very sick. She got an infected uterus.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I had to give her antibiotic shots 3 times a day for 3 weeks, and she hated me for 3 full weeks.
Did she ever like you?
She did, and then Benjamin came into the picture, and she loves Benjamin more than she loves me, which is she's just a traitor. But she got very sick, and so I had to go and get her fixed, or else there was a 75% chance of her getting sick again. And so if you like let a cat be in heat without getting pregnant, she could run the risk of getting that infected uterus. And I don't know the word for it outside of the Ukrainian word for it. So
So what's the Ukrainian word for it?
pyometra.
Okay.
And her uterus got infected, very, very sick. She could have died. And I don't mean to bring everybody down. When I did get her spayed, it was the village vet, and I fought for it. I got the anesthetic. I got her to, he put her to sleep, not in the way that we know. And I had a friend with me that spoke Ukrainian and Russian because mine wasn't good enough for medical terms and veterinary terms.
Yeah.
So she was helping me. But then the vet decided that he needed me to try his homemade vodka, and he needed me to try 4 shots of it.
Okay. That's
And,
a lot of it.
Yeah, and he was also giving me food that I don't eat. So I didn't have any food per se with 4 like big shots of homemade vodka. So
Ukraine.
I forgot English for a while.
Wow. So the translator had the night off.
Yes. Well, we took a cab back to my place, and the cab driver like learned I was American. He's like, "Oh, let me practice my English with you," and I was like, "Niet."
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So and that's some of the troubles of having a cat. But are dogs the same way? You have to have them spayed or neutered.
I don't know. I don't know enough. So our dog, we got her from a rescue in Afghanistan, and part of the agreement to get her was that we had to get her spayed, like within 6 months of having her come to the country. So we just did it because we signed a contract saying we would. But also, I don't need puppies in my life right now.
Fair.
I think my main takeaway from this is that I'm very, very glad that humans aren't like cats in that aspect, because that'd make things super complicated.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like girls would be like, oh, I don't want to get my, what was that, a uteral...
Our uterus infection, yeah.
I don't want to get a uteral infection. Get me pregnant. So, like, that would just
No,
make a
thank you.
odd sort of dynamic.
Yeah, and there would be a lot more human children.
Oh, man, that'd be terrible.
I kind of agree.
In the age of overpopulation.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
So is it just that dogs bark?
Pretty much that. It's like, I just had too many instances where people don't take care of their dogs, and they bark, and they are just all over you, and they leave hair everywhere. Like, if it's contained to that person, it's fine, but I don't know. I'm being kind of selfish here, because whenever I go over to people's houses and they have dogs, and they don't seem to train the dog very well, the dog just jumps all over you, and the hair is just all over the apartment. They don't care of their apartment. They don't clean it up very well. And that's annoying. But if the dog is well behaved and it is like the apartment's like well cleaned, like I don't really care.
A lot of that sounds circumstantial.
Yeah.
Like your issue isn't necessarily with dogs, it's with people.
Yeah, so here's where
Which
the
is a fair statement.
here's where
Yeah.
the speciesism is coming into play again. You're using some very broad terms for a very small population of the canine persuasion.
So let me make this very clear. I'm very against people in general.
Okay.
That's a good start.
I mean, there's some people who are worse, but there are some other who are the absolute worst. Because, I'm going to bring
And
this full
that's you
circle.
guys,
Yep,
right?
Yeah,
because
we are the worst.
Yes.
We know all about terrible humanity here.
The way I see it, people collectively are garbage. So like in a big group, collectively, all garbage. Individually, I like people. But it's got to be like on a one-on-one basis, or like
You got to evaluate that
this
person.
group level. I keep my friends at 5. I've got 5 friends.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of them, maybe.
Maybe.
See, I can't agree with that. I think that people are genuinely like good. Like people as a whole, I think there are more good people in the world than bad. Like
Really?
by a lot. I think that the bad outweigh the good in like deeds done and things like that, but I don't think I think the majority of people, like if it wasn't true, we couldn't go to the supermarket. We couldn't have any civilization if it wasn't true that there are more good than bad.
I think
The bad tear it down, but that doesn't make it, like, if the bad were more, there wouldn't be anything.
I think the bad are louder.
That's definitely true
Yeah.
too. And we put a lot of focus on the bad, like with in the news and all that stuff, which is important stuff we got to know, but to sensationalize it, then it becomes like a big issue. So
I think that's what's important for our podcast is we celebrate the lives that were unfortunately taken too early. We don't celebrate the murder or the murderer, excuse me.
And I like to find stories that kind of spotlight the victims that are marginalized. So recently, like doing the Aberfan disaster, that wasn't covered really in a lot of news outlets, and it wasn't covered in like a lot of history classes. So when I was reading articles, there were a lot of comments and reactions to it from people from Wales, because it was in Wales, being like, I didn't even know this ever happened, because it was huge. 116 children died, but it wasn't taught in
most people
in
didn't
history.
know about Bear Brook until that podcast
Yeah.
happened and like changed everything.
Yeah.
With the Aberfan one, if I'm saying that correctly, I did listen to that episode. Which episode can we find that if someone wants to hear more about that?
That is a great question. If
Nate,
you
that's
give me
not
a second, I can
That's
pull
not
up
fair?
our.
No,
we
okay,
have a
Nate,
spreadsheet.
in which episode did we talk about ducks?
26.
Oh, fuck, he's right.
We have a
I have no
spreadsheet.
idea.
So
we
if
have
I,
like 180 episodes. I don't fucking remember anything I
I
said.
don't remember anything either. That's why every time I listen to the podcast, I'm like, who are these people?
To be fair, I only asked that because it was a recent episode, so I thought it might be off the top of the head.
the Aberfan disaster is discussed in episode 60, which is titled "Was He Licking Them?"
Oh. That was a good episode.
I listened to that one on the way over, so I should have remembered that too, huh?
That was a heavy one. That was,
I like the one with the cult. Like it was the cult one with what was it? They're aliens and stuff like that. And
that's a lot of them.
yeah.
Was it Alien Jesus?
I don't think it
There's
was
a lot of
Alien
those
Jesus,
too.
But it's the one where this like guy had like 6 girls that were like the absolutely finest girls. And,
Oh, that one was mine.
Yeah, that's your guy. Was it realism?
It's realism.
That's right, realism. Yeah.
That one was a good one.
The absolute finest
Yeah,
girls?
they were
Whose
on a-
wording was that?
His.
It was it was a sex cult, right?
It was a sex cult, and this 5 girls were in the Playboy cover, and so was he, and he was just surrounded. They were pretty fine. They were.
Okay.
I
They
agree.
were.
And confirm.
Confirm.
They were fine.
They were fine.
Fine.
What I had an experience listening to the episode because I was trying to guess what cult this was, and I just started thinking about religions. I'm like, is this Scientology? Is this Mormonism? And then I'm like, oh no, it's not any of those.
No.
Well, at the risk of getting murdered or sued, Scientology
It's our
is
show.
a
We'll
cult.
get sued. It's fine.
Okay. Scientology is a cult.
Yeah,
100%. That's not a religion. They just say they are for tax reasons.
It's got a lot of those like alien aspects to it. I mean, it's very alien based, but also people don't realize that Mormonism is pretty alien based as well.
Oh,
in a lot of
yeah.
ways.
So is Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh,
Are they really?
Really?
Yeah.
I need you to talk about it.
Eventually, not today, but there's a God living on a planet in certain aspects of Jehovah's Witnesses. So yeah, there's some
Because
aliens.
you were raised Jehovah's Witness.
Oh yeah.
That sounds pretty cool. I mean, the coolest thing about Mormonism is that if you are good enough and just righteous enough, you become your own god, and you can have your own planet too.
Perfect.
Cool. I don't want to become Mormon, but I would like to have my own planet. So how do I go about doing that?
Well, you gotta have some magic underwear.
Elon Musk.
I really don't want magic underwear either. I like regular underwear.
Just write a really witty tweet at Elon Musk, and it'll probably happen.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
It's
gonna
gonna
have
be
to.
really witty though. You get one shot.
Jesus, I'm not that funny.
You got this. Marinate on it.
Give it some thought. Oh my God.
You guys love dogs.
Yes,
I don't have one, but yeah,
you're a dog aunt.
I am a dog aunt.
What does that mean?
Her dog is my dog.
Oh, I
Yes.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have a life, guys. I travel. And then my life comes when I go to my podcast, which is at her house. And then we have dinner and I pet her dog and her cats. And I'm like, I lived my life today.
I lived my life today.
Back to travel tomorrow.
Nathan, you hate dogs.
Yeah. Well, see,
Or do you now hate people?
well, so the thing is, there has to be a way to communicate what I'm trying to say easily. So it's easier to say I don't like dogs than to say I don't like people who don't care of dogs, or I don't like dogs that are dicks.
But it's not as accurate, buddy.
I think
It
you
matters.
can. I think you can say, I don't like being jumped on by dogs. And you
That's
can
fair.
also say, I don't like people who are dicks to dogs. And you can also say, I don't want to put in the effort and the time to take care of a dog.
It takes so long to say that. I mean, so I don't like babies, right? But, you know, if I go in depth to my actual thoughts on that, it's not just like babies are bad. It's just like babies in general are a nuisance. Like they're a noise pollutant. They just make messes. And
Didn't you just say the same thing about dogs?
yeah. But, you know, there's certain contexts where babies are all right. Like I've seen a couple of babies. I'm like, that's a cute baby.
That is the appropriate context for a baby.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I get, so like my brother had a baby and his name is Owen, and Owen's a very cute baby, and I'm like, Owen, and you know he doesn't do very much, or he didn't do very much. Now he's older, but at the first little bit he's just kind of like laying there and
It's a
like kind of-
potato
yeah,
shitting itself.
essentially, and wasn't very interactive. But I'm like, oh, this thing's kind of cute. Yeah, I mean Owen wasn't the cutest baby, but I've seen other babies. I'm like, that baby's kind of cute.
Babies,
Aw.
I feel like babies don't get cute until 6 months. That's when they get fat. But before that, they look kind of like aliens.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
like, I think people are lying to others if they're like, oh, your baby's so cute, because only the parents find that baby cute.
Yeah.
But you have to, like, it's socially acceptable to say, "Oh, your baby's so cute." It's not socially acceptable to say, "Oh, your fetus looks like an alien."
Why not?
You're post fetus.
See, that's the problem. You're too subscribed to the social contract.
I really am.
Just pull out of it just a little bit. Like, you can still appreciate most of it, but there's parts that's like, fuck it.
Where I can just like drop hot takes
Yeah.
all over the place.
You see
I'm
this?
seeing it. I'm seeing it.
I hate
happen.
dogs. What? Well, not as much as babies. Okay.
Although I feel like it's more socially acceptable nowadays to hate babies, but it's not socially acceptable to hate dogs.
I agree with that. I do agree with that statement.
Well, there's certain memes around dogs which have not grown around babies. Like, the meme is like in any kind of movie or video game or anything like this, if the dog dies, it's a huge issue.
Yeah.
Now, you just don't have babies that die in things usually because that's, I don't know, that's like a taboo. But the meme around dogs is don't kill the dog, and people get really uppity about dogs, but we kind of ignored the baby meme because it's just like something people don't touch.
Nate just saw John Wick. That's what he said.
I get mad when animals are hurt. I get very upset about it. Drea told a story today where 13 people died, but I was more concerned about the farm animals that died. She was like, "Oh, and then the pigs died," and I was like, "Not the pigs!"
I thought she was going to cry.
I was really upset.
Okay, I'm going to get really deep here. Do you eat animals?
I do. I used to be pescatarian for a long time, but I found that I'm very carb sensitive, and so it's very difficult for me to live like a plant-based lifestyle and do low carb.
Plus, burgers are amazing.
And so is cheese.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to logic this. So, plenty of animals die and they get eaten, right? In this case, the animals died but did not get eaten. It's the problem that they did not get eaten.
The problem is that the animals that I eat literally grew on trees. They did not get killed for me to eat them. This is what I have to tell myself in order to be able to eat it. So I don't eat animals that were ever alive.
You made your own Plato's cave and put your head in that.
I am in my own reality.
Okay.
And none of the animals that I eat had to suffer in order for me to eat them.
I see. So by talking about the animals getting crushed by those rocks, now you're thinking about the animals suffering and they weren't off the trees.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
It brings in the reality into the mix.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
I don't cope well with reality.
Okay. I like that, though. You're very honest. I like how you're self-aware you are, because it just makes things so direct.
This is why I'm in therapy.
So, can't we just all agree dogs are terrible?
No.
Fuck.
Do you want to see a picture of my dog?
No.
Yes. Wait, I know about your dog, but I still want to see it.
I'm going to find a good one.
I've gotten in troubles, like, people say, "Oh, you want to see a picture of my dog?" Like, isn't it cute? Nah.
See? Social contract.
She's not the black furry one.
That. Wait, so the one on the left.
The brindle, yeah.
Oh, she's so cute.
Isn't she so cute?
I like her more than the other dog.
Yeah, the other dog's kind of ugly.
That's it.
Well, I wouldn't
That's
go
at
that
doggy daycare. She's best friends with that black one. They are best
jeez.
friends, and they wrestle. It's so cute.
No, I like dogs, and you're ignorant.
I'm ignorant?
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Strong words.
Accusations.
Oh,
Well, I'll take it, and
And we're
Yeah.
done.
goodbye.
no, we have to, like, plug you guys.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so tell us where we can find you for anyone who's listening.
You can find us on basically any podcast streaming service. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Stitcher, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on Castbox,
We're on everything.
iHeartRadio, Spotify, just about everything. And we are also on social media on Facebook and Instagram at We Are the Worst, the podcast. We're on Twitter at WATW_podcast. And we have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/wearetheworst. We are also in the works of building a website.
Nice.
That's amazing. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's for you guys put out bonus content and in videos and audio.
Yep.
And it's only $1 or more a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's super low for putting out like all this content. That's amazing.
We did have it tiered at one point, where we were gonna give out merch and we were gonna do shout outs, and it was too much work.
Let's just be honest here.
And I couldn't handle it. Andrea's traveling all the time, so there was no way we could like keep up with that. So we dropped it down and said, give us $1 or more and you get extra episodes, and that's your bonus.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Nice.
awesome.
Nice. All right. Well, to end this podcast, dogs suck and we need to talk.
Damn it. Why did I give it to you to end it?